Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. We're going to get straight to it because in the last episode we had defeated Dargum in combat, and now we're going to use this rope to bind him up and take him before the leaders of Stangard. Using the coil of strong rope, you are able to safely secure Dargum. The beaten Uruk may be brought before the leaders of Stangard, Sithric, and Stanric, for them to determine what should be done next. You will travel with all haste to Stangard with Dargum as your captive.
Taken the Uruk-hai Vandal to Stangard, where Gada has brought him before Stanric and Sithric to await judgment. What brings you to these lands?
You have done well to capture the Uruk and to expose the betrayal that besets us. I wish to stay and hear Stanric's judgment, but I must depart with haste. I have been granted leave of my company and will join another band of men in the Wailing Hills. Perhaps my eagerness for action will not be considered such a burden as it was at the Frithstan. Stanric and Sithric are preparing to discuss the matters of the White Hand. May we meet again in better circumstances, Kippen. Alright.
What brings you to these lands?
It is good to see you, Kippen. I must commend you for subduing one responsible for the damage to the Frithstan and bringing him before us. The exposure of this white-hand Uruk-hai is most shocking indeed. I shudder to think that Saruman may now be our enemy and is enlisting orcs from the Misty Mountains to his cause. Our troubles already seem numerous, and now it seems even our allies have become our enemies. This Uruk filth must be locked away so as to prevent him from causing further harm. Are we in agreement, Sithric?
Our mission is dire.
What foolishness is this? You would have me believe that the White Wizard himself is now our enemy? Do you think me an utter fool? This is nothing more than the Uruk-hai's cunning ploy. This mongrel would love nothing more than for us to consider Saruman, one of our greatest allies, as a traitor. Oh, how they would laugh as we turn friends foe. They hope for us to attack each other, only to be beaten by their unseen armies. An ill-conceived ruse. This is precisely why you need me, Stanric, to see through the treachery and trickery as them. Gotta take this creature from my sight. Send him back to wherever dark hole he crawled. Uruk, listen to me now. Take this message to your tribe. Stangard is strong, and it is wise. We will not succumb to sword nor scheme. Your efforts are for naught. For the last time, Kippen, you will not meddle in the events that are none of your concern to you. I am more than capable of seeing to the affairs of Stangard.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
This is madness. Where's the justice in letting our enemies just walk away freely? This Uruk-hai has seen the layout of our city, our lack of supplies, and the conflicts in our leadership. We only show further weakness by letting him go. For Stanric's sake, I will do as you command, Sithric, but I would not disagree more with this decision. I will deal with escorting this Uruk out of Stangard. You should leave this hall before irritating Sithric further. Alright, very good.
What brings you to these lands?
While Sithric places no value in your deeds, your efforts have not gone unappreciated. Although this is not the result Gada has sought for your part, there was nothing more that we could have asked of you. Gada has been asked to remain silent on the matter, so I will thank you on his behalf.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
Early in the hour in which you return to Stangard, I welcome your presence here, as does Gada, but there are further matters which need our attention in the Wailing Hills. North of the Frithstan, along the road to the west, lies a small camp of riders led by a man named Frithstan. Their position in shadow of the stone allows them to keep watch over the western roads out of Stangard, while remaining secluded from the eyes of hill orcs. On occasion, Frithstan sends a patrol to Stangard with reports of any enemy activity in the west. A message was expected days ago, but we still have not received a word. After your most recent discovery, I take this as a cause for concern. Head west out of Stangard and take the road north as it forks. Seek out Frithstan at his camp and discover the cause for his absence of tidings. Alright.
It is clear that you have been sent to help my people fight against the Kundalar.
I know why you have come here, Kippen. There can only be one reason. It is clear that you have come and been sent to help the people fight against the Klundalar. They are the descendants of the Easterling tribe that crossed the Great River 500 years ago, and scouts report that they have been seen on the shore, on the far side of the shore. They seek to accomplish what their ancestors could not, and this time, there will be no timely intervention, no final hour rescue. We are on our own, Kippen, and this is why I did not forbid your Dunlington friend from entering Stangard, or seize the Rohirric sword she carries. Perhaps one day we were foes, and we may be again. But today I see Rohan threatened, and I thirst for allies to defend my homeland. I was called disloyal and changeable in the Hall of Theoden King, but that is not so. I love Rohan, and I want only to protect her.
The battlefield of Parth Celebrant may hold some clue to defeating the Kundalar.
Their ancestors were routed by the timely arrival of Erlingus under Earl the Young, but we have no such advantage in numbers this time. No one is coming to help us. We must find some strategy to help us defeat the Klundalar, and sifting through the site of the battle may teach us something that we may use against them. I have marked this map with the location of the battle. Bring it to Cedric on the road watch post in Parth Celebrant, and he will guide you to the places he has not already searched. I hope you will be kind to him. Cedric has been long away from his wife and daughters, and sometimes he lets his worries master him. He is a good friend and true, even if his mind is not always on the task before him. So we do have a lot of work to do here, but let me take that road west. Lots of developments here in the story, so it's fairly exciting. I love a well-developed map in terms of the storyline. Okay, let me see which way I want to go. I think he said north at the fork. Let's see. Looks about right. Let me pull up my quest log and make sure that no quest kind of fell through. Looks like everything is up on the tracker, that should be. So, Frithstan's camp.
Our mission is dire.
Greetings, you are looking for Frithstan, friend? Then you are not alone. Panda is my name and Frithstan is my sergeant. This is where I last saw him, at his camp in the shadow of the Kustan. So this does not bode well. The camp is deserted.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
Our primary task is still to keep safe the road and protect the travel routes from Stangard to the west. This was an effortless chore in the past, but the orcs have grown more agitated and daring, making things quite dangerous. They have crawled forth from their cave dwellings and now venture into the light of day to cause us harm. We must still maintain the safety of the road, despite any other circumstances. Travel west again and put an end to any orc forces who may be openly walking in on our lands. I will stand guard at this post and will await your return.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Several nights have I spent to the north scouting in the hills for Frithstan. I have returned too late, only to discover these empty tents and dying fires. Our orders were to watch the road and to send word to stand guard on occasion. As to what would cause my companions to simply depart so suddenly, I cannot imagine. Would you look around the camp for clues as to why they might have left, or to where they might have gone? Return to me if you find anything of note. This ale barrel is nearly depleted and is surrounded by half-empty cups. The chest is neatly packed full of someone's personal belongings. The weapon racks are mostly empty. It seems that many of the swords have been taken. You have collected sufficient evidence and should inform Panda of your findings.
What brings you to these lands?
Empty tents and missing horses. Were you able to find anything else? Panda listens to you in detail about your discoveries that you have made. My companions had been drinking more than usual, it seems, and when they left, they took along weapons but not their personal belongings. I'm beginning to envision what may have happened here. It is a start, but we need more evidence. Head to the west of here and look for more clues. Be careful of ambushes by the orcs, as they have become more bold and fierce of late. Panda has asked you to look for more clues to the west. Let's go. Let's unravel this mystery. Kind of reminds me of the story of Roanoke a little bit. Good old early American history. Some spiders here. Let me see where I'm at. Alright, so it looks like there's going to be a lot of stuff over this way. Let me kill a few orcs. I think I need to. No, I didn't get credit for anything there. Alright, so it looks like there must have been a battle here. A number of Rohirrim arrows litter the area. Charred corpse, not good. This charred remains of an orc suggests that a struggle recently took place here. Pool of blood. Small pool of dark blood seems fresh. You have collected sufficient evidence and should inform Penda of your findings. I do want to kill a few more orcs first before I head back to him, though. Need to kill more scavengers and defilers. And let's see. This is sentry. I don't need sentry. I need scavengers. And a defiler. Perfect. Okay, good. Let me head back.
Our mission is dire.
Rewarded shall you be for your service to Stanguard and its people. Thank you, Kippen.
Our mission is dire.
This evidence all suggests that Frithstan and my fellows have assaulted the mountain orcs head on. Oh, the impetuous fools. What have they rushed into? The men in these camp were always anxious for action and silently cursed the orders of Stanguard to sit and guard. I fear that their desire to change valiantly into battle may have now wrought their doom. I should really put on my glasses before reading. I'm messing up a lot of the words here. My god.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Brave and skilled men. See, this is exactly what I mean. Brave and skilled are the men under Frithstan, but they are not much match for... Oh my god. That's going to be a video edit. Brave and skilled are the men under Frithstan, but they are no match for the sheer number of the orc horde. I fear that they may already be too late to aid them, and I must know for certain. If you have the courage, I would ask you to press onward into the territory of the mountain orcs to search for signs of my companions. Look among the orc tents and supply crates for their belongings or for other evidence of their presence. Let's do it. So it looks like that's a Rohirrim camp over here. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Going towards a different quest. But you know what? Let me just go this way. It'll be fine. Limelight Gatehouse.
Will you aid the Horse Lords?
What is that? You want to explore the Gorge? That is folly and then some, unless you plan to lead the whole company of stalwarts with you. But I see in your eyes that you are not the sort to be so easily dissuaded. Well, do not blame me when some troll uses you for a football, or a spider the size of a horse has you dangling as a snack in its larder. Tell me, did the men of Stangard put you up to this? Because if they did, it is not funny anymore. 3 lads this week alone have gone down there, trying to prove their worth, and that will be the last we will see of them. Enough is enough. I will tell you what. You go talk to Silgum over there. He has a tale or two to tell about the Gorge back before we stopped patrols down into it.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
A few days ago, we saw a pair of elves headed down into the Gorge under the cover of darkness. They did not seem to be trying to hide, but by the time we noticed them, they were already well past us. We did not dare to go after them. The way they were dressed, I would say that they must have been servants of the sorceress of the Golden Wood to the north. I have no idea why they would come down here, though as long as they stay away from Stangard, I am not much mind to interfere with them. Still, it is my duty to keep an eye on what is going on down there, so if you should happen upon them and survive, I would be interested to know what those two are up to.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
We had a small band of prospectors and fortune hunters pass through Stangard a month or so ago. They had bought some old dwarf-made prospector's map of the Gorge. It must have been 20 years old or more, if it was not fraudulent. They wanted to head down into the Gorge and investigate the old prospecting sites. We told them not to waste their time, but I guess they had already spent much coin on that fool's map, so they insisted on heading down all the same. For the first week or so, they got on alright, set up some sort of camp, made a few runs into town for supplies, but we have heard nothing recently. It has been a while, and I do not have high hope that you will find them alive. But if you can find out what happened to them, it would take some weight off of my mind. Let me open up the stable here.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim. What brings you to these lands?
The Gorge? Oh, I have been down there many times. Not so much in the last couple of years, but we used to patrol it regularly. Pretty place, really, but it has always been a bit queer. Strange things there. I would swear that the trees had moved from one patrol to the next, or that some boulder had shifted to face north, or all the birds would suddenly get quiet on a midsummer's day. That was before those great cursed trolls arrived, of course. They crawled up out of the rocks, or down from the mountains. I could not say which, but they are a handful for even a band of men. Fortunately, they do not much like the sun. It has been overcast down in the Gorge a lot lately, but they are still too scared of it to wander as far from their caves as Stangard, so that is a blessing. It was after the trolls arrived that we saw something that really gave the men a nasty turn. We were watching from a safe distance as one of those great brutes was lumbering along when it took a swing at some old fir tree, and the accursed thing came alive. Vines and branches wrapped up around the troll, and there was such a to-do that we have never seen. We had not been imagining that all the trees down there wander about. They do walk, you see, and they had been watching us all those years. That was the last patrol we did down there, and you could not pay any man of us to go back down there again.
What brings you to these lands?
So, do you still want to head down there? It is your life to lose, I suppose.
Rohirrim have need of your services.
Something you could look into while you are in the gorge is a band of dwarves that headed down there about a week ago. You see, there's an old sawmill in the gorge along the river. It has been abandoned for a few years now because of the troubles in the gorge. These dwarves heard about the sawmill and their eyes lit up. With greed, no doubt. They believed that there were just some sort to get it working again and do business up in Stangard from it. A fine enough endeavor if the gorge were not crawling with all manner of dwarf-devouring beasts. I do not guess that the trees themselves will be too kindly to folk trying to run a sawmill either, now that I think of it. Anyway, if you should run into the dwarves, and they are still alive, see if you can convince them to come up out of there. It is not worth their lives to get simple mill up and running. If they are dead, well, I would be obliged if you let us know. There is not much we can do, but I like to keep track of such things. Alright, so that is the gorge. Before we start doing quests in there, let me finish up some of the other things here. Because I want to try to keep things a little bit organized. I didn't mean to kind of run off that way. I was just blindly following the quest tracker for the other quest instead of going up to where I was headed originally. But at least that will give you a nice little preview of us going down into the gorge, something to look forward to over the next episodes or so. So I need to search the camp for evidence of the lost warriors. That's not good. I hope that's not one of the lost warriors. Can't be good. There are only unremarkable orc tools in this crate. That's not good though. That is a corpse. Oh, it's just a node though. It's not one of our fellow Rohirrim warriors. There are only unremarkable orc tools in there too. Let's see what else I can find here. Oh, yeah, we got somebody. You have encountered a warrior who has been taken captive.
What brings you to these lands?
It is Frithstan himself. An orc you are not, and you are no Rohirrim. So who are you and what are you doing here? You say Penda sent you? Oh, thank you, I am Frithstan. My men and I were captured by the orcs when we launched an assault against them. Look in the crate to my left and search for the Orc Keys ring. You have found a set of rusty iron keys and you should show them to Frithstan.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
The keys, you have found them. If I don such shackles never again, it will be too soon. Thankful am I for the pride of these orcs. They were quite ill prepared for your attempted rescue. It is shameful to have been captured by such beasts, but I am truly grateful for my release.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
The orcs managed to overwhelm us with their numbers. They drove away our steeds and took our men into the cave. I heard one of the defilers speaking about brewing some sort of potion, and I fear for the lives of my warriors. Enter into their dwelling and release as many of the captives as possible. Radmund, Girth, Lertman, and Oda were all with me during the assault. Find them quickly! Okay, so I'm assuming it's this cave right behind here. Frithstan saw the other warriors being taken into this cave. Let's see what I can find in here. So these are non-aggressive. So there's Girth.
Our mission is dire.
I am not too badly injured, thank you, friend. The orcs, they brew some vile poison using spider's venom and corrupted plant roots. I fear that they plan to test this poison on the other captives. Hurry, you must hurry, save the others. I must go while I am still able. You know what, I am just gonna fight some of the orcs here, because why not? Even though I'm over leveled, I should make this at least somewhat intriguing. You know, it's kind of weird to come in here and rescue everybody, but not kill a single orc while they just watch me free all the people here. So here's another quest, it looks like. Orders from Dushatar. This scribbled note contains a set of orders to the Morhai orcs, signed by one named Dushatar. It seems that the Morhai have often been careless when creating and handling their poisons. The orders demand that pouches of herbal remedy be carried in order to help cure their mistake. It would certainly be helpful to collect some of these remedy pouches and bring them to Frithstan's camp. I hope I'm not missing too many of these interactable items that start quests. It would be a shame. Let me see about rounding all these up. All right. Let me see if I can find some more of the prisoners. None here. I do need one more medicine thing. There we go. So looks like there's another one in here. What did I do here? Completed Orc Slayer. Okay. Nice.
What brings you to these lands?
Thank you for saving me. Another dose of this poison and I would surely have perished. My pain will subside, but you must press on. Some of the others have been given larger doses of the poison. So you have rescued the second warrior. Very good. Let me keep going deeper into the cave. Should I go down or into that main room? Let me come down here first. It's like another prisoner probably in here. This one doesn't look so lucky.
Will you aid the horse lords?
You recognize this soldier as your ally Oda. He does not appear to be breathing, and despite your best efforts, you cannot revive him. Oda has already succumbed to the effects of the poison. So that's pretty sad, because we interacted with Oda quite a lot. Oda has succumbed to the effects of the poison. So I'm assuming we're going to have to come back to this cave, so I'm not going to continue further in just yet. Because I'm assuming we're going to get more quests. And I don't want to waste too much time if we're just going to be backtracking here anyways. So let me just get out of here. Not a nice place to die. Okay. Let me return to the camp. View the filers. Orcs all over the place. My god. So Frithstan is back, thankfully.
What brings you to these lands?
You have returned and have freed some of my men. Well done. But where is our companion Oda? He looks at you for a moment and tilts his head down. I see. We are fools to have acted so aggressively against the orcs, and dear Oda paid the ultimate price for it. We owe you gratitude, for we would have met the same fate as he, were it not for you.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
So this is a repeatable quest, interesting. Resourceful are the soldiers of Stangard. Supplies are few, yet the need for armor, weapons, and provisions is great. We must gather resources whenever there is the opportunity to do so, and there is an asset in the Wailing Hills, which should not be overlooked. The wild goats in these hills are exceptionally lean and are often poor resources of meat, but their rough hides can still prove to be quite useful. Goat hides may be tanned into leather, then used to produce a wide assortment of important equipment which Stangard needs desperately. Would you gather these hides so that we may improve our stores of materials?
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
I have been told of the orc in charge of the Morhai, the one guiding the production of the poisons to be used against us. His name is Dushatar the Defiler. Action must be swift, but we are still feeling the effects of the venom. We must rely on you to put a stop to this. Gather your allies and seek out the Defiler in the Morhai cave. As suspected.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
You have done well to secure this poison remedy. This will help us deal with our injured, and the rest shall be stockpiled to combat further attempts of poisoning by the Morhai. Frithstan will be pleased to know of your efforts.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
We have need for more remedy that you procured from the Morhai. If you are able to acquire any additional pouches, bring them to me, and we will make good use of them.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
When the spirits of those who have fought alongside us pass on from this land, it is tradition to pay them tribute to their service. Sadly, the men of this land know this practice all too well, and a common memorial area has been placed at the Frithstan monument. You are welcome to join in our tradition. I ask that you collect red flowers scattered across Aster Hill. Bring them south and place them in the stones around the Frithstan in memory of Oda and the fallen Rohirrim.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
You have proven yourself to be a true friend of the Rohirrim, and I believe you are worthy of receiving some interesting information. As you know, I was far away from camp, scouting among the hills to the north when the trouble began. It was there that I encountered, concealed among clearing of trees, allies unexpected. I think it would be best if you visited them for yourself. Go northeast beyond Aster Hill and seek out the clearing. Their presence in this land leads me to believe that they may be in need of assistance. Perhaps your abilities would be of use to them. Alright. So we have some poor soldiers here. A lot of them are sad, but thankfully a lot of them have returned, with the exception of poor Oda. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we're going to continue helping out the men of this camp here in the next one. So thanks for watching. I appreciate all you guys who come on here video after video and support the series and give me positive comments. It's very encouraging, and I do appreciate it. So thanks, and see you on the next one.
See